Welcome back, everybody. Chris 70 with 70 Mortgage Note Investments. We are an SEC qualified Regulation A plus offering, raising $75 million to invest in distressed mortgage notes. Today, I want to talk about the 5 top mistakes investors make when looking to acquire assets. And if you're a note investor, you should be aware of the mistakes to avoid when bidding on assets. If you're newer to the space, I think you'll find this information valuable. If you're somebody who's looking at investing in some type of fund or syndication that notes, this is important knowledge to have because we always find knowledge is powerful when investing in any type of offering. The more you know, the better off you are. Try and battle a little cold here. First is getting the seller expectations. When you're bidding on assets, when the seller sends you the information over, pick up the phone and call them and ask them what the expectations are, because it could be the expectations are too lofty. For example, we had some assets recently sent to us where the seller wanted 90% of the total payoff of the loan, and these are distressed notes. Right off the bat, I knew I'd be better off investing in government bonds than I would investing in these assets. The returns would be so low. This seller was completely irrational, honestly, in their type of expectations. So that's an important thing to understand. Others, they may say, hey, give us our best offer. Some other key components are there could be 30 assets on that list, which is called a tape. Can you bid on each one individually, or do you have to bid on all 30? That is also an important key component to understand. So now that you've got those expectations, next is I see people a lot of times bidding off of the payoff versus the unpaid balance. And the total payoff is a good number to have. It's something that should be taken into consideration, but the unpaid balance is the verified balance. Total payoff is something that can be disputed. It could be incorrect. You could have a court come back and ask you to see every single copy of an invoice. And if you think that you're going to get an invoice of taxes paid from 2013, good luck to you. I have had in the past a property where it sold for significant value at auction, well above what we were paid, and we had considerable advances that we had that were added to the payoff, and those were contested, and we had to negotiate those down. So understand that you should bid off the unpaid balance and take into consideration payoff. If a seller says bid off payoff, first question we ask is, so you're guaranteeing that payoff, and if it's incorrect, you'll credit me back later on. And you'll typically get a look like you have 6 heads when they say that, or they will laugh at you. But when they do, then say, well, why would you have me bid against something that you won't stand behind? So that's number 2. Number 3, and this is the one I see occurring the most, the biggest mistake every investor I've seen make, because they go take a training from a certain guru who just says, oh, bid at 80% of the balance, bid at 75, or bid, based off of a percentage, which is not the way to go. And that is loans that have a low principal and interest payment, but might have a high UPB. For example, a $100,000 loan is 6% is $600 per month. At 10%, that number might be $800. At 2%, that number is probably $250. And note investing is all about velocity of money. So in each one of those situations, the amount that's owed is the same. You would not bid the same on those. These low principal and interest payment loans that have the low interest rates, those should be discounted heavily, but I'll see people bid those at a higher number, like it's an 8% loan, because they don't know how to calculate a return, and they're going off of the guru that they spent $50 at the Holiday Inn over the weekend on. So something to take into consideration, really understand those low principal and interest payments. Those are killers. We, in our portfolio, looking at assets, typically don't even bid on them anymore, because we'll go back to the seller and be like, yeah, we're at 35 cents on a dollar. If it was actually non-performing, it would be worth more. And they're like, oh, we want 80 cents on the dollar. And I'm like, it's a 6% return. That's not something we're in the business for doing. And in today's rate environment, nobody is. Number 4, checking taxes. One of the only things that is superior to a first position note is taxes, property taxes. So you want to make sure taxes are being checked. It's not fun when you find out there's a $10,000 tax bill that is owed. Now, the ways to go about this is running a title report, as well as calling the local county or local jurisdiction, asking about the status of the taxes. It's something you want to do and you want to double check because it's very important. Now, if you do find that out, you go back to the seller and say, hey, there's $10,000 in taxes. I need to reduce my bid by that amount. And typically that is the negotiation that occurs. But if you find out after the fact, after you buy it, that there were taxes, seller's going to say, sorry, that's on you. So you want to make sure you do all of this work prior to acquiring the notes. And last but not least, not only taxes, you want to check liens. You want to check liens and make sure there's no utility liens, water, sewer, any types of those liens. Those also can attach to the property. IRS liens are another common one that may have some type of impact to the property. Or any type of lien against the company that you might be buying it from. They might not be able to release it. So again, you want to run a title report on these assets when you're buying them to make sure that you're checking taxes, the title, the liens, and so forth. So these are the top 5 things. There are many other aspects of due diligence, but I wanted to cover just in this video, those are the top 5 because I see those are the biggest mistakes people do not check. Hope you enjoyed this video. For more information about us, please check us out at 7einvestments.com. That's the number 7, the letter E, or investments.com, or on YouTube, youtube.com/7einvestments. Thank you, and hope you enjoyed this video.